to our final tier list for winter 2025. I know that a lot of animes have already ended. Some of them just ended. So it's going to be like, if there's like a seasonal anime that just finished, for example, 100 Girlfriends, I'll give my like final week, you know, episode tier like rating, and then do an overall rating. This is supposed to be an overlap of like the final episodes of Third Stragglers and the overall opinion I have of those animes. Before we get started on these, let's get started on the dropped animes, just to give you like my final impression and like what I think about it. First up, Momentary Lily had an amazing fucking episode for episode 2 or 3, when the big titty, you know, One-san got trapped underneath and the friends were fighting, and oh my god, the voice acting was crazy. The level of despair and terror conveyed by the voice acting, the friendships, bonds being broken apart as she's literally like, fuck you. I hate every one of you. You said you'd come for me. But that was pretty much it. The rest of the anime episodes, it felt really weird, very jarring, classic Studio Gohans, where they're just doing everything they can possibly do without thinking, should I do it? And it just felt mid overall. That's why we kind of dropped it, and it's also reflective of why people didn't really watch it from my channel. Another anime that is really had a lot of potential, I think, was Zenshu. Zenshu, I think production value was amazing, but you need more than just production value to have a story that's so compelling, right? It's an anime original, meaning there is no like big audience that was expecting this. I think a lot of people were disappointed by the fact that this didn't turn out to be like a Shirobako type of anime where they're covering the behind the scenes rather than, you know, actual isekai story. Who knows, you know, what the planning was behind the scenes. It was more of like a love letter to the animation tactics, right? The strategies like Itano Circus, for example, or many of the other ones that's like a reference or like an homage to those, you know, legendary people. But the story, I think, was very flat and the characters were very unlikable to the standard isekai audience. It is what it is. Wasn't able to finish it. Got to like episode 3 or 4, but then that was pretty much it. Still a brilliant looking anime. Next up, Yokoso, Miss Elf. This was, it was kind of like here, you know, it was a very wholesome, fun, happy show. It was very cute. I honestly appreciated how they went back and forth rather than just staying in Japan and just eating. But I feel like the fight scenes are so mid because obviously this isn't a show you're supposed to watch for the action, but I think a lot of people kind of like lost interest the moment that it stopped doing more slice of life wholesome stuff back on Earth and try to do more of the isekai fantasy stuff back in, you know, in the fantasy world. Unfortunate what happened. I try to, you know, put it into rotation, but a lot of people just lost interest so fucking quick. It was a cute looking show though. Next up, this show is the pinnacle of mid. What the fuck am I watching, bro? What the fuck am I watching? The progression of this anime was unreal. It's like, think about all the shitty, trashy isekai tropes that people enjoy, put it into one, and just go, go, go. That's what it was. It had its moments. The most of the moments that was entertaining was derived from like the slavery jokes, right? Because it's like, oh, you can be my familiar now. And he just gets so many girls, but goddamn, it's just, I can't keep up with it. I can't take it seriously. Just overall mid. Next up, Kuroiwa Medaka. It had its moments. Honestly, I think this fell off really quick too because obviously this was an anime that was heavily rooted in the fan service. First episode, Mona just basically flashing everybody had a lot of people excited. But guess what? What's the actual story? Doesn't really exist. And guess what? This shit got season 2. This shit got season 2. That's fucking crazy, bro. The other episodes are pretty mid. It's just kind of boring. The same cycle repeats over and over again. And a lot of people, I think, lost interest really hard. But hey, there's a target audience for it, and they're really enjoying it. And it got season 2, so great to see for those people. Next up, Headhunted, Salaryman. It was a mix of here and here. It had its moments. I don't think it's ever really gotten to the greats, in my opinion, though. I think that this anime looks good. It looks pretty. The art, I think, is really popping off. But I think a lot of people don't really give a fuck about, you know, diplomacy through Salaryman tactics, right? Especially for an isekai anime where people just want cheap garbage slop. This was a little bit too, I don't know, grown up, you know? It just didn't hit the, I guess, power fantasy, right? The power fantasy here was through capitalism, and not a lot of people, I guess, appreciates that. I still enjoy the overall soundtrack, the voice acting, Gnome, you know, fucking Demon Lord aura farming. It had its moments. Overall, I'd probably put it somewhere between like here and here, but that's like kind of the story for most of the animes down here. Next up, Bihineko. Oh my god, this show is literally bestiality. People are just trying to fuck the cat. What? Are you serious? Yes, I am very serious, bro. If you actually watch the anime, you'd know that, you know, them trying to fuck a cat was like a main plot point. It's crazy. What else happened? Anna-chan, Arnold. Honestly, Arnold's like crazy fucking fan service and his little like boyfriend too. That shit was funny for me. But I think a lot of people, again, there's only so much you can do with degenerate fan service. It had its moments, but it's probably like, you know, just kind of mid overall. Next up, the Fruit Master, straight up garbage. Holy shit, this shit's trash. My god, the production value is ass, and the story also was... It's honestly, I like the story premise. You eat fruits, you get powers. We got a dungeon, you know, guild adventure stuff happening, but god damn, bro, like, holy shit. Episode 3 was so fucking boring, it just lost all momentum. Unreal, bro. Just crazy bad. It's just garbage. Still, the pizza girl, you know, the pizza girl, I liked her. Alia, I think, or I forget her name, but that was really cute. The pizza gag was the only thing going for me. Next up, Honey Lemon Soda. Honestly, I thought it was a great first episode. A lot of people are rating this really badly, though, after the anime season ended. To me, the first episode was very compelling because it did a proper backstory and why this girl is such a loser, but she wants to change. And it was like, oh, it's kind of nice that she's not waiting for a a Prince Charming, but she's rather trying to actually like do well for herself. And the comedy was good too, but no one gave a fuck. First episode performance was so dog shit that I had to drop it immediately. I don't know what happened afterwards, but I don't really know much about it. I'm just based off of the first episode, I would kind of put it like here or here, but a lot of people are saying it's garbage. Next up, Yubel Blatt. I like the dark fantasy setting. Genuinely one of the most interesting settings that I've seen in anime. But a lot of people did not give a fuck about it. I hear there's a lot of censorship happening, and this show is supposed to be super gory and a lot of fan service in the manga, and obviously the anime didn't deliver on that. Nothing really much to say. We only watched one episode, and again, it's one of those animes where no one really gave a fuck, so we dropped it. Dragon Ball Daima, mid to me, honestly, because like, what the fuck are we doing, bro? Straight up, like, this shit was so boring because this is not supposed to be Dragon Ball Z or Super. I hear that later on, cool new forms showed up, insane hype was happening, but I'm not gonna stick around watching 20 fucking episodes to see one transformation. A lot of people also, again, like one of the most underperforming series ever, goddamn. First episode was carried by the Dragon Ball nostalgia, and then everyone realized, huh, nothing's really happening. Magic Maker, sorry, yeah, Incest Maker, it was honestly kind of fun. It was actually fun for a bit, but a lot of people just kind of dropped this shit too. The performance, again, a lot of people lose interest so fucking fast, and to me, felt like degenerate incest, but apparently it's wholesome incest because, you know, that's how magic is happening, because his sister is like... The one thing I did appreciate is how the backstory of the isekai character, bro was like, I waited 30 to be a virgin because I've heard that that's how you get magic powers, and then he got isekai. Crazy premise. This anime pisses me off. It's kind of crazy how this had one of the better production values in the season, straight up. The fight scenes were great. I don't know who the hell was working on this, but goddamn, this anime, the fights, actually good, out of nowhere. But the story is so ass. I just do not give a fuck about this, bro. Holy. The whole premise of this guy just, and I think a lot of the frustration came from the fact that we were like scammed because it said appraisal. What the fuck is appraisal when bro is just using appraisal as an excuse while he uses it as a Sharingan? You tell me appraising eyes can slow shit down? You tell me appraising eyes can steal skills? I don't think you understand what appraisal really means, bro. They basically just use appraisal as a fucking bait, as this eye can just do anything and everything. So that shit pissed me off, cause it's just labeling. And then after that, it's like, bro is so powerful immediately. God damn. It's just like, I don't care about the fights because I know he's gonna win. It's the exact opposite of solo leveling, where it's nothing is earned. The author honestly did tackle that issue in the episode though, where he fought against that Zoid guy and he turned into a monster, and the whole thing broke down to, yeah, it's all borrowed power, but I'm actually still strong. I've gotten strong because my heart, my kokoro, I'm a good person. And I'm like, bullshit. But hey, I appreciate you actually explained it. And that's pretty much it. You got my final, you know, opinion about these animes. They're all dookie or drop because you didn't watch it. I will honestly keep an anime going if the viewership is good. I can pretty much enjoy any of these, you know, dookie mid animes. But at the end of the day, if I'm making videos and they're underperforming, what does that mean? That means that my audience doesn't give a fuck about it. I'm wasting time. Each slot invested into one of these could be something else that they're looking forward to. All right, let's get it. First up, Great Alchemist. This shit, probably mid. It's standard isekai. Premise is kind of interesting with, you know, time gap. Takumi is like a Giga Chad alchemist, but it's such a beta pussy that his own girls roast him for being so submissive. And, you know, but I guess there's a target audience for that people are introverts and, you know, they want to relate to Takumi getting all the girls, but still being a bitch. It's mid. It honestly is mid. This shit's like a 6 point something out of 10. I had one of the best ethical slavery systems though, true. But this is like a 6 point something out of 10. Next up, Villainous OG-san. This is the Nokutan of this season. In terms of the overall like the viewership, the popularity. But as people start to watch more and more, they realize, oh man, this is not it. And I agree. No matter how much, you know, like production value absolutely is important. For an animation to actually have animation is important. But if the story is so boring and doesn't align with my interest, honestly, I give this like a 7 out of 10 because how boring the story was. The animation quality, honestly, is like an 8 or something. And I want to push it to the 8, but I can't. This shit probably is at the top of the mid because, man, some of those episodes in the middle, I just genuinely did not give a fuck. Nothing is happening. It's so slow. And I don't even enjoy the slow life moments either. I'm just not the target audience. My personal enjoyment. Again, at the end of the day, this tier list is based on like my personal enjoyments. It's just down here. I don't care how good it looks. The story is so uncompelling. This is like a 7, maybe like a 6.5 out of 10 to me, in my opinion. Next up, Medalist. Medalist goes to great. Maybe peak? No, I think it's great. Medalist had amazing production value. Studio Engi is a studio that is known for just rushing and ruining animes, but this one they went all out. The team that worked on this is superb. The CG usage is amazing. The story is so compelling too, a redemption story grounded in children's figure skating, but it's not just them. You got the coach and the kid who kind of are like, you know, the coach is like a person who wished that he could have started earlier and had guidance, and Inori is kind of in the same boat, except the coach can be that guidance. I love the hype, you know, like, I will surpass you, I will go to the nationals kind of vibes. I love that in sports anime. Sports anime probably is one of my favorite genres too. I grew up reading Slam Dunk, so like, what do you know, right? So like this shit, I would say it's like an 8 point something out of 10. They killed it. I'm looking forward to season 2, but here's the thing. No one cares about this anime because people can't appreciate, you know, sports animes honestly are very unpopular, I've noticed, unless they're super well advertised and hits a target audience like Haikyuu or Kuroko no Basket. I've noticed that not a lot of people really give a fuck about sports. The more I thought about it, the more I realized that like not everyone, you know, is like an athletic person like me. Most of the people watching anime are probably fat losers that can't relate to sports or anything competitive. I'm sorry, that's the fucking truth. And I don't think I'm wrong, bro. I think the vast majority of anime watchers have never played any competitive sports, cannot relate to any of this shit. Therefore, sports anime just doesn't do well because they can't relate. I come from an elite sport background. That's why I fucking love sports, but hey, it is what it is. 8 point something out of 10. Next up, Apothecary Diaries is another anime that is great. I think that the first couple episodes were a little bit stalling. I think a lot of people were kind of waiting for the build-up or something crazy to happen, but nothing really crazy happened in the first half. The Lady Anshi stuff was crazy though. The Empress Dowager, you know, lore backstory, what the fuck. Jinshi Moon Fairy was also pretty funny. Anything else highly notable in the first half? That's pretty much it. I think it's a very slow burn, and we're really waiting for something to pop off. This second half that we're entering right now, this new arc, right? As we go into a complete different land, Lulan's dad's place, and we're going hunting, and you know, Jinshi's getting assassinated. Yo, this shit's getting hyped now. Overall, first half, because I appreciate it so much, I think that it is like an 8 out of 10. The storytelling is always so peak. The production value is stunning. Soundtrack, voice acting, all that, right? I think that this will probably be like right over here. I don't think it's good. I think it's great. Next up, A-Rank Party. A-Rank Party came out of nowhere. This, I think, is... I don't know if it should go on great or good. It's either top of good or bottom of great. Like, this shit is so... it's another one of those banished from the party stories. Except, Yuke, the main character, banished himself. He left, and he got a bunch of girls that he trained before, and he's going around. I love the live streaming elements about this too. And the world building and like the dungeons, like when Persephone showed up, I was like, yo, this is some actually aura. Like, I care about it. Usually these dungeon shows, I don't give a fuck because the monsters we're fighting are so underwhelming. This anime handles it in such a great way. Like the Persephone stuff, and even right now, the new arc we're going to, and new dungeons happening, it's just like, whoa. It's like, yeah, we fought a weird monster first, and then it's like, whoa, what is this area? What's going on? The mysteries and the depth is cooking. The production value for this too is fantastic. I don't think it's necessarily on the level of like Medalist, right? But I think that like it's definitely up there. Like it's way better. It's definitely a cut above animes like this. This is probably still better production value, but still, this is fantastic. The best friends story tier, like the way that they handled like Simon stuff. My God, the revenge plot. It is so good. The romance too with Rain, so good. It's so good. The more I think about it, no, I think I enjoyed this shit more than Apothecary Diaries, to be honest. I did. You know what? I think I enjoyed this shit more than Medalist. The more I think about it. I genuinely did. If we're gonna think about it on an average of every episode by episode basis, this shit hit. It hit my, you know, shitty junk food addiction that I have with these like banished in the party, you know, dungeon shows. This shit hit. Would I give it a higher rating though? For some reason, I don't know if I'm gonna rate this like an 8 out of 10. Like objectively, I know that Medalist is probably like an 8 out of 10. But this is probably a 7 point something. Yet, I enjoyed it more. What the fuck? Interesting. I am baffled at my own rating score right now. If I enjoy something more, but it has a like what is the score? The score is something I'm trying to give like an objective like analysis about. But at the end of the day, it's my own entertainment value. Yo, maybe this is an 8. Shit, maybe this is an 8, man. Fuck. All right, I'll put it up there. Fuck it. I'm putting this up there. You know what? Yeah. All right, I'm gonna put it up there. This is an 8 out of 10. Next up, let's talk about mail order isekai. This should be mid. By all account, this should be mid. And it's not finished yet, by the way. We got one more episode coming, and I think he's about to fuck the queen. Straight up. I think that's what's gonna happen. The production value of this is non-existent. It is, like, of all the animes here, aside from Nutmaster, I think this is the worst production value. Straight up. But the story is so peak. Oh my God. And here's the thing. Villainous Oji-san and Mail Order Isekai, I give this comparison over and over again. These two are two sides of the same coin. They're like opposites, inverses. One has amazing production value, yet the story is so boring for me. This one has shit garbage production value, yet the story is so fun for me. I gotta put this shit in good. I do. Overall, I would honestly put it up to a 7 out of 10. I would. If I'm cheeky, maybe I'll go to like 7.3. I don't think it's a 7.5. Again, the production value is so hindering this, but the story is so fun to me, man. It's genuinely so fucking fun. How he goes around So nonchalant, gets laid. All the girls are chasing after him. He don't care. He's trying to live just live like a chill life. The battles too, sometimes they're hype. The turf war that happened with the other trading company, bro. The aura farming with the bobcat too. Holy shit, that's crazy. Bro's having threesomes with cat girls. He got a daughter and the daughter is competing with the fucking wife for his affection. It's just peak degenerate, slow life isekai fantasy for me. And I appreciate this story so much. This is probably like a 7 point something out of 10. I don't know exactly where, but I'll bump it up. But again, it should be mid. It honestly should be mid, but I'm putting it up there, bro. Next up, another anime that surprised me and shocked me is Kurakon. Kurakon, yeah. This one, I think, is similar in how the production value is definitely better than this. This, I think, is like kind of similar to this in production value because like this doesn't have, you know, hype battle scenes. It's just all dialogue and they use a lot of chibi moments to save on the resources, and I think that's smart. They're trying to do the most with the least that they have. The side characters are so compelling, like Shisei. It's so fun. Himari was just kind of biding her time, and then by the end, bro, the NTR just cuck debate that happened between Himari and the main character is crazy. I enjoy this anime so much. But because the production value is not elite, I have to kind of like limit it. Like the greats for me, you need to like have amazing animation and a great story. When you have one or the other, I'm gonna put it around here. At the end of the day, very fun, very heated drama. I put this, I think I put this like 7.9 out of 10 or some shit. I think that this is like a 7.5 to 8. Somewhere in there, 7.5 to 8, I think I would rate that. Very fun anime. Next up. Mid. I think I enjoyed Alchemist more, maybe. This shit's so bad. It's one of those things again where first of all, like everyone is hype. Wow, Takashi Rie is voice acting. What a funny premise. She stops, you know, she doesn't want to work overtime because the adventures suck, so she decides to go in and carry the adventures themselves. But at a certain point, like that running gag gets boring. The fight scenes are also very underwhelming. The plot started to get a little bit more serious and deep, but I think they should have done more slice of life. I'm starting to realize that you need to understand your identity of the show and lean into the strength. No one really asked for a deep, epic dungeon story, but it just fell off. I think a lot of people enjoyed this because a lot of people enjoyed the initial premise of, you know, haha funny. Takashi Rie's voice acting, she's molding, very funny slice of life. But then they strayed away from that and a lot of people lost interest because they're not really here to watch a mid, you know, garbage, just like a mid-fight anime. And that's what it kind of turned into. The ending stuff though, with, what's his name? The ending stuff with Glenn, the Guildmaster, that was actually getting pretty hype. The voice acting was so good. The story was actually getting pretty epic. I like the overall direction of the penultimate episode, right? Not the finale, but the one before that with Glenn's reveal. That was actually pretty fucking hype. But other than that, and the other, it just kind of just like Arina just being mean to Jade over and over again, honestly just gets kind of boring. And that's pretty much it. Overall, this is like a 6.5 to like a 7 out of 10 in my opinion. It's somewhere around there. Next up, Sakamoto Days. I don't think Sakamoto's Days is mid. I think it's up here. I think I enjoyed this less than Mail Order Isekai or Kurakon though. Sakamoto's Days was, again, one of those animes that, oh man, a lot of people were expecting greatness from it, but it ended up just being okay. And that's the problem, right? People have such a high, like no one cares about this. No one cares about this. No one has any expectation for these shows. And because of that, we can just go in and just have dumb fun. But this, there's a lot of expectations. The standards were already there from the anime, the manga audience. And I think that they did it a disservice. Timus Entertainment, I don't know what kind of fucking filter they're putting on this show, but most of the times, bro, the overall just art direction just doesn't really make sense to me. The more I watch it though, the more I appreciate it for the comedy, the Jackie Chan-esque fights, the memes, the fun, you know. There are times to get serious, but most of the times the fights are very just lighthearted, fun times, and I did like that. It's just, again, mismanaged expectations and an impossible standard that they could not hit. Womp womp. This is like a 7 out of 10. Next up, 100 Girlfriends. I think that 100 Girlfriends goes up here. And I think I enjoyed it more than Medalist, probably. Yeah, I think I did. 100 Girlfriends is... I mean, what do I gotta say, right? It's just peak rom-com. It knows what it's about. It just gets, you know, Rentaro gets a new girl, then we go on dates and we have a kiss moment and it has fun. Whenever the entire episode is just fan service, though, it kind of loses me. But the absurdity of 100 Girlfriends is always fun to just keep it exciting. I think that the production value is amazing. Probably the anime that broke the fourth wall the most. And what can I say? Rentaro's a Giga Chad and his girlfriends are lucky to have him. Overall rating? It's like an 8 point something out of 10. Red Ranger. Where does Red Ranger go? I think that Red Ranger is not mid. But it's also not great either. I think Red Ranger goes down here. It had its moments. In the first couple episodes, the power of bonds and the absurdity of a Power Ranger guy summoning his fucking Mechazoid with these isekai people saying, what the hell is that? People love that shit. But again, one of those stories again where it kind of like, that gimmick wears off. And I think by the time these like, you know, privileged skills and seed monsters, like, it kind of lost me, not gonna lie. I don't care about, you know, like the action, the production value of this show is half decent. It's not terrible. I think it's better in this for sure. But it's just, the story is just kind of lacking. I think this show it's honestly for, it's for like people who grew up watching, you know, the Sentai shit, the Kamen Rider, all that stuff, right? It's a love letter for that. The Dark Ranger moments, it had its moments here and there, but overall, I don't think that I enjoyed this so much that I put this over here. I think I enjoyed Sakamoto's Days more than this. This just kind of straggled on. The Azir and Rania stuff, my god, I just did not give a fuck. Until Azir's backstory episode where it's like, okay, I'm starting to get a little bit more into it. I straight up didn't even know what the fuck the title in the episode because I just didn't care about it, man. Overall rating? It's like a 7. It's like a 7. Hello, Stinky Cheese 27. Alright, now, did I put anything in peak just yet? I didn't. And rightfully so. First up, ReZero. ReZero absolutely goes on peak. This shit's a 9 point something out of 10. I think this absolutely stands above animes like this. Production value, I think, killed it. White Fox was somehow able to get Vincent Chansart and made him work on the Kurgan versus Garfield episode, and goddamn, that's probably gonna be the height, the pinnacle of animation for ReZero, right? I don't think any other scene will exceed that. Maybe in the future though, that'd be a cool bar to beat. Personally, I come from a background of Unga Bunga Battle Shonen. I can appreciate the deep stories in the lore and the psychological thriller as Natsuki Subaru, this loser NEET that's done nothing with his life, struggles, you know, and fumbles around in this isekai world where consequences are very real. But I can also appreciate the Unga Bunga non-stop hype that happened in Season 3. For those reasons, I put this shit in peak, bro. Probably my second most favorite season. Again, it goes Season 1, Season 3, Season 2 for me. I've already explained this over and over again, and there is an insignificant marginal difference between how much I enjoy Season 3 and Season 2. I'm not saying Season 2 is bad, I'm just saying that, my god, I appreciate the brain turn-off hype fights over and over again, rather than being stuck in one place and just having all the, you know, success be backloaded. That's why I enjoy Season 3 more than Season 2. And finally, Solo Leveling is probably gonna go here. It's not a surprise. A1 Pictures absolutely fucking killed it. It is a production value masterpiece, in my opinion, in this season. I don't think there's any other anime other than probably Zenshu, right, that can compete with the godlike animation that happens, right? I think A1 Pictures and the amount of talented staff that worked on the fight scenes, god fucking damn, bro. Art style great, voice acting great, soundtrack great. What can we ask for? It's a very simple story, but simple doesn't mean bad. A lot of people are genuinely so stupid. Like, I've seen so many negative reviews about, you know, Solo Leveling, and you know what their talking points are? They're like, the plot is so simple and easy to understand, that's why it's garbage. And I'm like, bro, you are acting like a fucking pseudo intellect. You're trying to say that you're so smart, that like Solo Leveling is such a simple story that that's why it's bad. Actual retard opinion. If you're so smart, how can you not understand that simple plot doesn't mean bad? Simple and complex plots, bro, there's a target audience for everything. It's all about the execution of that. A simple story can pop off if it understands what it's about, what's Solo Leveling about. Bro is weakest dude ever, but then gets a power system that lets him progress and then starts to flex on people. That's it, baby. Now, there is a deeper plot happening with the Monarch system, I think. And as Season 3 and Season 4 happens, I think we're going to get more of that. But I don't think, again, this is on like a writing level of ReZero. This is not on the writing level of Apothecary Diaries. This is not like something so profound and deep like Vinland Saga, or even an anime that's so glazed like Madoka Magica. It doesn't need to be, though. That is not the only parameter that exists to judge the quality of a show. Hype Unga Bunga, if done right, can be amazing. For that reason, it is #1 in this tier list. 9 point something out of 10. I don't know. Also very fun, but goddamn, Solo Leveling fucking killed it week after week, and that's pretty much it. My final rating of Winter 2025, and I think that I have a very reasonable take. There are some animes, again, that probably got done dirty like this one because I just didn't care about it. The target, it's just not for me. But I hope you can appreciate the reasoning and the logic to kind of tell you what I enjoy. And this is it. See you in spring 2025.